everybody, welcome back to the channel, and a big welcome if this is your very first time here. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done in a while on the channel, and it is a sort of show and tell style video. So today we're going to take a look at a couple of trivia packs. The first one being this one here in front of me, which is from the very popular ITV game show The Chase. This pack of trivia cards don't actually belong to me. These were actually given to my dad for Christmas by my sister. The Chase is a game show that he absolutely loves and watches almost daily, I believe. And it is a show that I know quite well. I do know the format of the game. I don't watch the show a lot, but I have seen it before, and it is a very enjoyable game show, I have to say. So as you can see here from the front of our pack, this game is intended for 3 or more players, aged 14 or up. And you will need 20 to 30 minutes to play a game. So if we just have a look here at the back of our pack, we can take a closer look at what the back says. Based on the hit TV quiz show Outwit and Outrun the Chaser, and your opponents in this race to win the most cash. Gamble or play it safe. It's your choice. Just don't get caught. And this pack also contains over 100 questions, as you can see there. So I think it's going to be fun today to take a look at some of these questions and hopefully test your general knowledge abilities. So let's just go ahead now and open up our pack very carefully, peeling back the plastic here. And I do believe that my dad has had a look at the pack, so I can't guarantee that all of the cards will be in order, but I'll do my best to sort them out, hopefully. So I think we have some rules here on this first card. Yeah, it's just some very general rules there. And I won't go into the game in too much detail here today. It is just a sort of brief show and tell look at what the game has to offer, but we will have a look at some of the questions within the game. So here we have some letters. I guess this is for what set of questions you pick at the end of the game show. And I do apologise if you can hear any background noise. It is raining quite hard outside at the minute. One of the perks of living in Ireland, you get lots of wind and rain. So we have more letters here. So as I say, I haven't actually read the rules, so I don't know exactly what all these cards mean. But I'm just going to sort them, and hopefully we will get to the point of asking some questions. And if you've never seen The Chase before, I highly recommend it. As far as quiz shows go, I think it is one of the better ones out there. So now we come to the questions. Of which there are plenty. So I think, first of all, let's just take a look at a few of them, and then I will ask you a few questions as well. So the first question here we have is, how long did Apollo 11 take to travel to the moon? Was it 18 hours, 4 days, or 2 weeks? And yeah, I would have guessed 4 days. I think that's quite an easy one. 18 hours just isn't long enough, and 2 weeks is far too long. So yeah, I would certainly have said answer B if I was given that question during a game. And our next question here, what is the age range in years for members of the Brownies section of the Girl Guides? 5 to 7, 7 to 10, or 10 to 14? Yeah, I would have been guessing at this one, but the answer there is 7 to 10. And our next question, the first recorded death in the Bible is that of which person? Is it Aaron, Abel, or Adam? And again, we have answer B. It was Abel. So well done if you would have known that answer. And here we have a literature question. One of his favourite sayings, "Screw it, let's do it," is the title of an advice book by which entrepreneur? Richard Branson, Alan Sugar, or Peter Jones? Yeah, I would have definitely been guessing this one. And the answer is Richard Branson, so well done if you would have known that one. And let's do just one more. Ronald Reagan's quote in his 1986 State of the Union speech, "Where we're going, we don't need roads," is from which film? And I instantly would have known this answer, as I'm sure many would. And it is from Back to the Future, answer A. So yeah, I think that will do for that selection of questions. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shuffle these cards up and ask you some questions off screen, and then hopefully you can answer some of them correctly without seeing what the answer is. So I'll just shuffle have a nature question. How many legs does a lobster have? Is it 6, 8, or 10? And the correct answer there is 10. A lobster has 10 legs, which is very interesting to me. I wouldn't have guessed 10. So well done if you got that one right. I probably would have said 6, to be honest, because I know it wouldn't have been 8 because that's arachnids. And yeah, I would have said 6, so I'm quite surprised. Alright, we have a sport question now. In 1919, which of these sporting events was famously fixed? Was it the Grand National, the FA Cup final, or the World Series? And this again is one that I wouldn't have known, and that is something that I will say about the Chase. It's a show that I do find the questions to be very difficult on. But if you said C, the World Series, then well done, you are correct on that particular question. So we'll do just a couple of more questions here. Let's see if we can get a category that we haven't yet had. Okay, let's go for this technology question. In March 2013, Belgium released stamps with which flavour of glue? Was it beer, chocolate, or mussels? And I think, based on those choices, the one that I would have went for is the correct answer, and it is chocolate. I can't imagine having mussels flavoured glue. It doesn't sound very appealing. And beer, that just doesn't sound very practical at all. So chocolate flavoured glue, I like the sound of that. As you know, I am a big chocolate lover myself, or you may not know. But yeah, I love my chocolate. Alright, just one more question then. Let's see. Alright, here we have a quotations question based on music. And it is a hit in 2004. The Outkast song Hey Ya popularized the phrase shake it like a what? Was it coconut tree, cocktail shaker, or Polaroid picture? And I think this is quite an easy one. And if you don't know it, I think you'd be able to guess it. But those other two options are quite amusing. But yeah, the answer is Polaroid picture, so well done if you got that question right. But yeah, that gives you a bit of an idea of what you can expect from this game. And it is a lot of fun, and I've actually just noticed that if you flip the cards over, you have another selection of questions here as well. So you get 2 questions per card. And we have all different categories as well. I think that's quite a good question there. Which of the Beatles is barefoot on the front cover of the album Abbey Road? And I have actually seen the picture, and you see the band walking across a zebra crossing. And yeah, one of them is barefoot. But I have to admit I wouldn't have known, so yeah, it would have been a guess. Here we have a hobbies question. geography question, and geography is a category I do like, personally. Depending on what it's related to, but in this case forests don't particularly interest me, so I would have been guessing that one. But yeah, that gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect from this game. And I think you can pick these up on Amazon fairly cheaply. And in fact, what I'll do is I will put a link to the cards down in the description if you want to check those out. Feel free to. I think they're fairly inexpensive. As I say, my sister got my dad these cards for Christmas, and I also got a pack of trivia cards as well, which I'm about to show you. So we'll just put these off to the side for now, and I will then bring in our second pack of cards for the video. And this one is a more general area of questions, I guess. So we have top trivia, and the area is sport specifically. So whilst the chase is more general knowledge based, this one is more specific and it's related to sport. So if we just flip around to the back, we can have a look at what the back says, and it says dedicated season ticket fan or informed armchair pundit. You think you know your sport. This card back comes crammed with fun-filled facts from the world of bat and ball, pitch, pool and field. It's quite funny the way it's phrased that. From the Crucible to the Oval, Goodwood to St Andrews. And if you aren't aware, I think these are all within the UK. These are UK sporting venues. The Crucible is a snooker venue where they play the World Snooker Championship. The Oval, I believe, is a cricket ground. I'm not a cricket fan myself, but I think that is cricket. Goodwood, I'm not sure what that is. I've heard of it, but I'm not sure. And St Andrews is a golf course. It's an all-action trivia challenge. Just add the contestants. And this pack actually contains 1,000 trivia questions, so you're getting a lot more questions within this pack than the chase, which, as we saw, contained 100 questions. So yeah, let's just open it up and we can take a look at some of the questions inside. And I haven't actually opened this pack of cards yet, so this is the first time that I'm going to get to see cards inside. And as you can see, the cards still have their shiny case still on them. So hopefully it's not going to be too difficult to open this pack. It's always great fun when you get something new and it's completely fresh and clean, and you get to remove the packaging. I always thought that was one of the fun parts about getting something new like this. So there we go, we should now be able to remove our cards from the pack. Just take a look at some of our questions on these cards. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll just move them back to the side and I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see them a bit better. Alright, so here we have our first card within the pack. And I think let's just take a look at what different categories we have. So this one is sporting chance. This one is how old. So all the questions are going to be related to years and age, things of that nature. And then this one here we have famous sporting quotes. It's quite an interesting one. Sporting scandals. It's a record. So this is all about world records and things of that nature. Here we have sporting disasters. And here we have specific to tennis, which is a sport that I follow. So I think I would quite enjoy this card. And yeah, if we flip over the card, like with the chase pack, we do have two sides of questions to each card, and on each of these cards we have 10 questions on each side, so 20 questions per card. And this one is what's the sport? So yeah, you get an idea of what you get with these cards. This one is 100 up. So this is things relating to sporting people who have reached over 100 in their respective sport. So for instance, we have who was the first footballer to score 100 goals in the Premier League. And the answer there is Alan Shearer. So yeah, you get a fairly good idea. So let's just do one of these cards and see how many answers we think we would have got right. It's a bit more difficult to ask the questions because the answers are given right beside, so these are more designed for people who are going to ask the questions first of all to other people and then give the answers. But let's just take a look at one of the cards here, which is sporting chance. And our first question is, with which French rugby club did Jonny Wilkinson finish his playing career? And I would have had no idea there, but the answer was Toulon. Rugby's not a sport that I follow. What are the 5 events in the modern pentathlon? Yeah, I would have struggled with that one as well. My interest in sport is fairly limited to a number of sports, namely football, tennis, snooker, and golf. I think would be my top 4. So those are the 4 sports that I have most interest in. And outside of those sports, my knowledge would be fairly limited. With which sporting event do you associate the Delhi Daredevils? Well, I know Delhi, New Delhi is in India, so I probably would have guessed football, and it is the Indian Premier League. With which golf course has holes named Flowering Crabapple, Magnolia, and Camellia? Yeah, and I would have known this one because, as I say, I do follow some golf. It's probably the 4th sport is the Augusta National Golf Club, which is where the Masters is played around April time every year in Georgia. Question 5. Which cup is 18 inches high, has 3 king cobras forming the handles and an elephant on its domed lid? Is that? I'm not sure. D-O-M-E-D, domed lid. Well, the answer is Calcutta Cup, and I do know what the Calcutta Cup is, which I believe is contested in rugby between Scotland and England in the Six Nations, but I wouldn't have known that that was the answer based on that question. Question 6. Whose dedicated supporters are known as the Barmy Army? And it is the England cricket team. And again, I wouldn't have known that answer. Cricket is a sport that I don't follow at all. Question 7. If you were watching an Old Firm derby, who would be playing? And yeah, as a football fan, that is a very easy question. And it is Rangers and Celtic. And it's a very fiercely contested fixture in Scotland. Question 8. In 2019, who became the oldest oarsman to feature in the university boat race? Well, I wouldn't have known the answer, but I have heard the name James Cracknell before. Question 9. In Formula 1 Grand Prix races, how many points are awarded to the winning driver? I probably would have guessed 10 points. I'm not a Formula 1 fan. I could name a handful of racers, like, well, I've actually gone blank. I can name some of the racers, I promise. We have Lewis Hamilton, there we go, there's one, the British racer. And then we have Max Verstappen. I think he might be German. Is he the current champion? But yeah, I could name a few more, but we will move on to our final question of this card, which is, which golfer won the 2019 Open Championship held at Royal Portrush? I think that's a very good question to finish on, because Royal Portrush is close to where I live in Northern Ireland. It's on the north coast, and it was the first time that it was held there for a very long time. So I do know the answer to this question, and it is the Irish golfer Shane Lowry. So yeah, that gives you a decent idea of what you can expect from this pack of cards. This one is absolutely jam-packed, full of questions. So if you enjoy your sport, you're definitely going to enjoy this pack of cards. But yeah guys, I think that will do for this video today. But if you enjoyed this look at 2 packs of trivia cards, the Chase and also Top Trivia Sport, then please give the video a like down below and consider subscribing to the channel as well if you're new around here for more videos like this, as well as other videos relating to trivia, quizzes and things of that nature. But a huge thank you for joining me, and until next time, rest easy, sleep well, and I hope to see you again very soon for another video. And goodbye for now.